Hello everyone, this is Satish Kumar. So I'm here with my continuation lesson on emotional intelligence. So we are learning about emotional competence, and in this we have already learned some 3 lessons. In fact, the personal competence part we have completed. Uh, 3 personal competence, that is self-awareness, self-control, and self-motivation. So in today's lesson we are going to learn about the first social competence, that is social awareness. Okay, this could also be called as empathy. Okay, uh, social awareness. So self awareness is about knowing about ourselves fully. Social awareness is about knowing about others. Okay, in our daily walk of our life, we meet with lot of people, we interact. At least some, there are some 10 people maybe in your social circle. Okay, so you interact with them daily. You work in an organization, you may be working with your boss, you may be working with your subordinate, you may be working with your clients. Okay, there are like that. Similarly, you go to a you have relatives, you have family members, all these are people with whom you interact. Okay, and having a clear understanding about themselves will also, in fact, this what they feel, what is their emotion. Okay, so this is a advanced level. So far we learned in the 3 competence about ourselves. We try to find about ourselves and about our motivation and about our self control. Now it is about understanding others, and this is very important. Okay, so some people may say that, sir, I am in a job that I don't need to influence people. I do my job like that. No, in fact, I too had that kind of impression for so long time, but it is not like that. Whatever job you do, you will get along with people, and even if it is 5 people or 4 people, no, if you have some understanding about those people, it will be useful for you to get along. Okay, so this social awareness, this empathy skill, empathy means is nothing but sensing the feelings and emotions of others without what they say. That is very important. See, people quite often don't express their feelings directly to you. Okay, in fact, there are many reasons why people don't say what they feel about themselves. Okay, this may be your close relative or your wife. Okay, any person, no, they actually have some reservation of expressing their feelings in words to you directly. So we cannot be we cannot say that since they haven't said anything about us, we fail to notice what is their feeling. So some, they may be having some feeling harboring inside, and they expect us to understand it. In fact, they may exhibit in some form. For example, that tone may change, that the voice, when they speak, that tone may change. Sometime they may show with some body language. They do something informally, indirectly. Okay, for example, a wife, when he gets angry, you know what he will do, he will go into the house and uh, take some utensils and break or something like that she will do. The husband immediately understands that she is having a grievance. This is a failure to understand what she is expressing earlier. In fact, the wife, before doing that, she will express a dissatisfaction with her husband in either body language or some other way. Some husbands do not understand. There are some people who understand others just like that, and these people could be called as socially aware people. Okay, so when you get along with people, no, some people may have some grievance. A friend of you might have a grievance. He may not even tell to you. He may be feeling down and sad. You have to understand that he is having some grievances. Some people know are good at picking those signals, and they will ask them, what is your problem? Then he will tell. So here listening is also very important. You have to listen to them. Okay, so lot of people will have lot of grievances. Okay, and if you don't have empathy, no, that is not good for any interpersonal relationship. Interpersonal relationship doesn't work that way. Okay, and the empathy, the major factor is you have to sense the feelings of others without their saying. That is very important. You have to sense their feelings. Nobody, if you are in a social circle, if somebody is having some grievances, they won't say directly. Here Freud sells a very important quote. Freud, Sigmund Freud, what he says is, human beings, no, they can't keep secrets. Okay, we are mortals, human beings, no, we can't keep secrets. Although they may tie at their lips, they won't say it in their lips, but they will express it in some form. They may be doing certain things, they may be feeling low, in some way they will express it. We have to pick those emotional cues and have to understand, and sensing what others feel without their saying is the essence of empathy, is the essence of social awareness. Okay, and this is a foundation skill for all social competence. Okay, if you don't have this skill, you cannot become a good person in social skills. You can never develop social skills. Okay, your social competence will be poor if you don't have empathy. So the foundation skills is this. In this there are number of subcomponents. We will learn what are all the subcomponents. First is understanding others. Okay, understanding others. Here we have to be attentive to their emotional cues, and another very important skill is listening. Listening is a very powerful skill to know people. So first we have to understand their emotional cues, something they express. Okay, then we have to ask them, inquire them, what is their real feeling, to come into some conclusions. Okay, we cannot straight away come to some conclusions. Okay, because sometimes what they feel, only when they express we can understand, go deep inside. Okay, I will tell you here, empathy may be at 3 levels. Okay, at the lowest level, being able to read the emotional, what the emotional cues that they express. Okay, that is the first part. The second part is the higher at a higher level. Here, sensing this and responding appropriately. Okay, for the concerns or feelings of others. Okay, for example, when a person is feeling down, we may sense and we may inquire them what is the problem. This is the second level. First is understanding what they feel. Second is the higher level, you inquire them. The third, that is the highest level, you understand what is their issue and concerns behind their feelings, and you try to help them. Okay, so there are 3 levels. For the 3 levels, if you want to achieve, no, first you have to sense them. That is the empathy, the basic skill. Second is you have to inquire and listen to them. Quite frequently people do not have this skill of listening. As a result, they don't get quite a good picture of what other people is feeling. In fact, even when other people try to come and tell to them their problems, there are people who could be called emotional tone deaf. Okay, and emotionally tone deaf, if you are not open to others, if you can't put into the shoes of others and understand others, no, this will lead to social awkwardness. It will not lead to social awareness, it will lead to social awkwardness. And whenever you have that, no, your interpersonal relationship, and for example, if you are a boss, if you are working your subordinates, you won't have a good rapport with them, and you can't get things done, there will always be some issues. Okay, so this understanding others is a very, very crucial skill. Okay, here very important, we have to be sensitive to their feelings and emotions. Okay, we have to also help out if they need something. Okay, so it all starts with finding their emotional cues, listening to them, and being sensible to them, and finally helping out them. All this will come under understanding others. Okay, the second subcomponent of social awareness, that is empathy, is service orientation. Okay, service orientation. Here, see, we all may work in different places, all of us. So we will be serving some people. If you are a teacher, you are serving a student. If you are a doctor, you are serving a patient. If you are a salesperson, you are servicing some clients of you who requires a buy product from you. Okay, so we all serve some people. Okay, in any job we serve some people. Here, while serving, the service orientation should be the most important thing. You want to give to those people something that they require. Okay, that should be the goal. In a social awareness, people require something, that is why they come for him. For example, I will give a good example. A patient goes to a doctor, okay, and he has some issues. Okay, he is trying to say, okay, and doctor has to first understand what he is saying. That is very important, listening skill. Most often, lot of doctors know, they will come, they will do some screening, they will ask a few questions, and they will come to some diagnosis. Okay, in fact, these days doctors are very intelligent, they are like that. What I am trying to say is that doctor has to have this service orientation in mind, and he has to serve them. So here it requires more than mere listening, a concern for others. Okay, similarly in some other jobs. Okay, for example, if you are working in a company, I have previously given this example. A customer may be having some grievances with your factory, requiring some information about their order. Okay, at that time, even if that is not your line of work, you try to get that information to that customer. Okay, to soften him. Okay, I have experienced this. In fact, when I was working in a company in Sivakasi, I was a sales executive, and there are different sales executives in that company for different products, because it was a big company. Diary department is there, calendar department is there, others are there. Okay, my department is diary, it's not calendar, because that company is printing both those things. When a customer related to calendar, a call came to me. No, he was having a lot of grievances, and on that particular day, that executive was absent. His subordinate is only there, but his subordinate did not attend the call, fearing to speak to the customer who is calling, because he is actually angry. So they changed the call to me. The call came to me. I was talking to that customer. When I was talking to the customer said to me the grievances, and he was very angry. I tried to pacify him, and I told them that I will get the information. Please kindly call after some 10 minutes or 15 minutes. And in the meantime, I went to that subordinate of the calendar executive, and that calendar executive subordinate, no, he gave that information. She gave, it was a girl, and she gave all the information related to it. But I even asked her why she did not talk, and she said that speaking to a customer is very difficult. They like that. Okay, okay. Then I conveyed that message to them. Okay, here I may have talked to that customer and said that the other executive is not there, and you kindly call tomorrow. But the customer is so angry. So I felt that this customer is having some grievances. I have to serve him. Okay, and this is what service orientation is all about. Okay, in any job you do, we all do some jobs, no, we have to be service oriented. Okay, I am in teaching. I usually give a class. Okay, and I have a regular syllabus. I will have a plan of class. If I am giving a 2-hour class, no, I will plan and I will give. After that 2 hour, no, I will see some students coming to me to inquire something. Okay, and 10 out of 8 students, 8 out of 10 students, no, will be asking some trivial questions, but there may be some 1 or 2 student excuse me, will have some real grievances about some topic, about some books. They may ask. I actually try to screen out. Okay, in fact I am not a very good socially this kind of identifying people person. I am still in the infant stage in that area. There are people who are better than me in this, but I will still try to identify who is having the real grievances. I will always try to give them some information, even if it is a trivial matter. Okay, so but if I find somebody who is having a real grievances, I will go all the way to explain to them to certain things take special care. That is what service orientation. See, I may be saying these things. You may think that I am boosting, but it is not boosting. It is part of your work. It is your part. Actually, if you have to be an efficient worker, if you have to be an effective worker, you have to do this. It is part of your job. Actually, we think these are all emotional competence, better competence, but lot of people don't do this. As a result, the person who do this look like a good person, but everyone's duty is to do this. They have to serve their customers or clients. If I am a teacher, I am a student, that is our job. Okay, so this is a very, very important. We have to advise them, we have to give solutions to them. All this will come under service orientation. Okay, so this is the second subcomponent of social awareness or empathy. Okay, the third subcomponent of empathy is developing others. Okay, developing others. See, when you work in an organization, see, in these days people, all the people want to grow. Okay, so when you work in an organization as a manager, you have to take concern for their development, their learning. Okay, and you have to find their strength. You have to see, by developing them, the organization also grows. Okay, for example, if I am a team manager of a sales team, if I am a sales manager, I am having a sales team, and if I know certain techniques of how to close a deal with a customer, I have to teach that to my sales team. Okay, and if my sales team doesn't have that kind of skills, no, give them training and developing them will actually result in better sales. So developing others, very, very important for social awareness, for empathy. See, empathy is concern for others. Okay, but the ultimate purpose is that person brings benefit to all, to you also, you will bring benefit to you. Okay, when you develop a person, it not only you, to overall. Okay, so acknowledging when you work with people that if you are if for example take my case, okay, if I am a teacher, I have to find students having some grievances. Okay, when I am giving a training, I find some students very brilliant and I may guide them. For example, in civil service examination, I may guide people to what to choose as their career opportunities. Okay, this could be done. Okay, and for some people I may give them extra training because they don't have the understanding that the normal kids have. The normal kids could easily understand something, so some people may have some difficulty, so I have to train them a little bit better, so developing others. Okay, so here in fact in educational psychology these are all very important. The teacher has to pick students who are gifted and help them to unleash that potential. They also have to find students who are not high learners and take also special care of them for improving their skills. Okay, all this could be done. Okay, similarly in an organization, training your employees. Okay, a sales manager giving training to a sales team to be a better salesman. Okay, and being a mentor. Okay, and please remember all these skills will come handy when you are in a middle level or top level management, when there are subordinates working under you. Okay, developing these skills will help you to a large extent. And believe it or not, wherever the position you are, you will always find to teach some of your skills to others. And I will also give you one other example. By teaching others, we also learn from it. Okay, in fact, the best way to learn is teach others. Okay, at least the knowledge part. Okay, when you teach a skill part, you get more mastery over that skill. Okay, so never think that developing others is not good. Never be so selfish about yourself. Okay, always try to develop others. Okay, and there are two more things subcomponent in social awareness, that is leveraging diversity and political awareness. These two I will cover in my next lesson. As I said, I want the lesson to be shorter. So in my second video of this, we will see the leveraging diversity and political awareness. Okay, bye.